Hey guys, One More Till I Die here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be, reacting to my 2021-2022 EFL League One predictions. Now, I made these predictions back in the middle of July, before the season started, obviously, and yeah, I've had a shocker. I'm going to tell you straight, I've had a shocker. Some of these predictions are good. I mean, you'll see. I won't show them on the screen because I can't edit them, but I'll read them out to you and you can agree or disagree. Also, I did make ones for the Premier League and the Championship at the start of the season. I didn't do League 2 because I didn't think we were going to be in League 2. I didn't think it was relevant. But if you would like to see me reacting to my Prem and my Championship ones, leave a comment down below and I will get that out to you as soon as possible. But let's get straight on to the video. So in 24th place, I had... just find predictions for you guys. Yeah, in 24th place this year, I had Morecambe. Now, at the start of the season, I thought to myself, a lot of people would put Morecambe to basically finish rock bottom. But what I didn't take into account was the players they had when they came up from League 2. I know obviously they lost Carlos Mendes Gomez. He was sold to Luton, but they had money to invest in the squad and they brought in some good players. They did buy in Shane McLaughlin, obviously bought Shane McLaughlin from ourselves, and they also brought in a good couple of decent strikers like Arthur Ganua and obviously the likes of Cole Stockton, who I did not expect was going to hit the ground running in League One. But to be fair to him, he did do a good job for them. And that is exactly why I had Morecambe to finish in 24th in the league. In 23rd this year, I had Cambridge United. I think they finished about 14th in the end. I think a lot of people may have also agreed why I put this one to finish 23rd. I thought they weren't going to do very well. Let's be honest with you. I'm going to open up straight away and thought they were going to do very bad. Especially when they lost Paul Mullen at the start of the season when he joined Moneybags in the conference, as did our striker. But to be fair to them, first season, they came up. They've done a good job. Mark Bonner, fair play to you, sir. You've done a fantastic job with Cambridge, especially with the fact that Joe Ironside is their striker. They've done very well and a very good season. Maybe they could push on next year, but probably second season syndrome may, like Morecambe as well, might see them struggle. In 22nd though this year, I had Fleetwood Town. Now, I knew they were going to struggle because of what I read online. The chairman's supposedly taking money out of the club and them dropping down a league. And the players Simon Grayson brought in at the start of the season were not League One quality. A few youngsters. But they did have the likes of good more experience like Anthony Pilkington still there, and also Joe Garner, who they brought in later on. And in the end, they finished 20th and just scraped it on goal difference. But I think they really, for me, when I saw them, we played them the other week before the end of the season when they drew, well, we drew 1-1, and obviously what happened. I really think they need to improve next year. And with Scott Brown as their manager, I'm not sure what to think on that. I mean, it's his first job in management, but again, they need to improve, because if not, there's going to be another season of struggle with them next season. Right, on to 21st. And in 21st, I thought just getting dropped was Crewe Alexandra. Now, they did finish bottom in the end. I knew but they weren't going to continue to form from last season, and I knew David Artell was going to have a massive job on his hands. I thought they were just going to miss out on drop, and they actually finished rock bottom. And they knew that was coming. I mean, they lost the likes of Owen Dale and Charlie Kirk in the summer. I don't know if they lost Dale. I think he may have refused to play. But they were key players for them last season when they finished further up the league. And I knew if they did not replace them, which they didn't, they were going to struggle. And they deservedly went down, like ourselves. But you'll see where I put us later. But yeah, Crewe 21st. In 20th place this year, just surviving, I had Cheltenham Town. And I got that one completely wrong. I should have given more credit to Michael Duff, because they did win the league 2 times. And they actually finished in a very respectable 13th or 14th, I think they finished this season. I'm not sure of the precise league, but they've been finished around mid-table. And fair play to Michael Duff. I mean, the goals of Alfie May especially kept them up. And yeah, pushed on. But again, I do feel like if they lose May this summer, they may struggle in League One. And again, like Cambridge and Morecambe, second season syndrome could come around and catch them up. But put Cheltenham to finish 20th. Right, now 19th place, this is a shocker. And you'll see why I put them to finish this low. But 19th place, I actually did put Plymouth Argyle, and they ended up finishing 8th. I completely got this wrong. I thought, because my thinking behind this was because if you look at the end of last season, the COVID season when no one was going, they did not have a good end. I think they were losing 5-0, 6-0 game after game, and they were struggling. They had a really bad defence. And I thought I was going to catch them up again, and I didn't think they were going to do that well. But they did do a great job in strengthening their defence. They brought in the likes of James Wilson and Dan Scarr, who were superb players, and also got some good attacking options. And Panucci Kamara was a gem of a ball from Crawley. And Ryan Lowe did do well. And again, I thought when he left and when they were top, I thought they were going to struggle. But Stephen Schumacher, fair play to you. You did do a good job. And I can see them pushing on again next season. But that was a shocker. And the next team's a shocker. And 18th, I had to put Milton Keynes. Obviously, I was never going to put them to finish higher up. But I probably should have done. I mean, they did finish third. As much as I hate them, I generally put them finish 18th. Because I thought when Russell Martin going to Swansea, I didn't think that their team would perform as they would under the new manager. But again, they done a great job. They finished third on 89 points. Didn't go up though, so they got 89 points for nothing. But to be fair to Milton Keynes, as much as I hate them, they're a good team. They are a good team. But unfortunately, another season in League One, boys, despite having 89 points. Now in 17th place, I put Shrewsbury Town, and they finished 18th. So I'm happy with that. One place off, not bad. They're one of the teams that always seem to get out of trouble. They seem to start the season off so badly, but they've got good players. I mean, Ryan Bowman was a good boy from Exeter this season, and Dan Udo, who's been one of their strikers for years, it's also living up to expectations. And they've got a very good attacking force. And yeah, fair play, Steve Cotterill kept them up again. Came in last season, done the same thing. But yeah. I don't like playing against them because we never seem to beat them, but fair play, you've kept them up again. Now, 16th place, I had us to finish. At the start of the season, I thought we would survive. I thought we'd be comfortably safe. I didn't know we lost Piggott to Ipswich, but I still thought in my head we would have enough to survive. And it did look like to start with. Of course, we got 3 wins in our first 7 games, and we were 4th, flying in September, but it all come ravelling apart. A problem season, struggling on and off the pitch. Basically ended after we beat Accrington 2-0, didn't it, really? Never didn't win again. The board were too reluctant to get rid of Mark Robinson, despite a lot of good he'd done for the club. And obviously Mark Bowen came in, couldn't keep us up. And yeah, we were relegated, and we deserved to go down if you see some of the errors we made. And we haven't got a striker. I mean, we haven't got any good strikers. Aaron Presley, one of our strikers, was out all season. Dafa Mabude did not do enough. Obviously, we lost Ollie Palmer in January. I still think if we kept him, we were going to go down less. And we replaced him with a fraud from Shrewsbury or Birmingham, whoever you want to call him. I'm not going to mention his name. You know who he is. And yeah, the guy from Barnsley as well. I can't remember who he is, but he was awful as well. And we deserved to go down. So I had us to finish 16th, and we finished 23rd. Now on to 15th. In 15th place this year, I had Burton Albion to finish. Again, another team who've got a good manager, good players, and I think they deserve. Always seem to finish mid-table, is what I should say. One of them teams that can seem to survive with not having enough supporters. I mean, they only get about 2,000 per game at home game, and they do well to survive. They do well to survive every season. And Jimmy Foy Hasselbank buys in some good players. I mean, they got the likes of, I don't really know any of their players actually, but they got some decent players and they're good, decent little League One side. And yeah, they definitely deserve to start this season, I think. On to 14th place, and 14th place I had Accrington Stanley. I say who are they? I'm not going to say a joke, of course. And they finished 12th, and they did well. They did very well. John Coleman, very good manager, especially at this level. Always has a knack of keeping teams up. And they've got some good players as well. The likes of Colby Bishop, Sean McConville. They are very good at this level. They can perform to an expectation. Obviously, they are like us, a small club. Not many fans watch them. Not enough money, but they're a very good run club. Of course, I think it will catch up with them eventually. It'll be like Burnley this season, as you've seen in the Premier League. You could do it for a long time, but one season it will catch up with you. But hopefully I'm wrong and Accrington do stay in League One for longer, because that would be good for League One. They are a very good side and I have a lot of time for them. But I put Accrington to finish in 14th. In 13th place was a very poor prediction. You'll see why I thought this. But 13th place, I honestly thought Gillingham were going to finish 13th. They ended up getting relegated with us. Now, this one, again, I don't know if I should have seen coming or not. I thought last season they had a good season under Steve Evans. As much as I don't like Evans as a manager, they did have a fantastic season. They did finish 10th. but that they did lose the likes of Connor Ogilvie in the summer, who was a massive loss for them. Massive loss. And they also lost their goalkeeper Jack Bonham, who was a fantastic keeper last season for them. And they didn't really replace them. I mean, that was a big strength for their defensive line, was them two players alone. And they didn't replace them. Striker-wise, I thought they still looked alright with Dane Oliver as a striker, but he didn't really hit the ground running. And it did look like they were going to get out of it when Neil Harris took over back in January, when they were bottom, and I think they ended up with about 5 games to go, about 4 points above the drop zone, but they just did not have enough form and didn't win again, and went down like us. But yeah, to finish off the bottom half, I had Gillingham as 30. Now on to 12th, onto the top half, and another shocker. I don't know why I ran in to finish this half, but I did put Doncaster Rovers. But I probably should have seen this coming because of last season, the back of last season, when they were fourth, I think, when Darren Moore left to take over at Sheffield Wednesday to try and keep them up in the Championship, and they ended up dropping to about 12th. They had a very poor end of last season. I probably should have seen them dropping this year, but Richie Wellens came in. They brought in a lot of players, and I thought that would be enough for them. But they didn't really never start the season off well, and been in the relegation zone, I think, for the majority of the season. And especially with their poor goal difference, they got a lot of hammerings. Especially one I remember off the top of my head was 6-0 at Ipswich. But again, I think they also lost heavily to Sunderland. I could be wrong. It was somebody else. But we beat them on the opening day of the season, and I thought, well, that's fair enough. But when we played them at home, we were 2-0 up, and they drew 2-2, and that was 2 relegation sides waiting to happen. But I don't know, Doncaster, will we in League 2 with you next season? Hopefully we can both push back. But yeah, I had Doncaster finish in 12th. In 11th place, I had Wycombe Wanderers. Now, Wycombe came down from the Championship. Some say they might have fluked their way because of PPG. On the year the season was cut short. But I thought they'd come down. I thought they would finish mid-table. They'd actually done better than what I expected, and they finished in the playoffs. Now, credit goes again to Gareth Ainsworth. He got them in the playoffs, which I did not expect to happen. But they did bring in some good experience like Sam Vokes, and they had Gareth McCleary, who I believe is probably one of the best wingers in the division. But I also brought in the likes of Hanlon from Gillingham, and yeah, they strengthened their defence with Ryan Tafazoli. Now, they looked quite a decent side, but again, they played us, and obviously Akinfenwa was scored both times and pretty much sent us down. We're not going to talk about that. But they're one of them teams that are good at this level, and I think if they can get recruitment right in the summer, they can push for the playoffs again. They were unlucky to lose to Sunderland in the final. They just did not turn up. But yeah, I honestly think they can do better next season. Now in 10th place, I had Oxford United to finish. They finished 8th. Another side who I don't really like because of the manager, Carl Robinson, but they are a good passing side. And yeah, again, they played us off the park up there and we lost 3-0, and they deservedly so won that game. But I think they had a bit poor run near the end of the season, which saw them miss out on the playoffs altogether, which was unlucky for them. But I think if they can get recruitment right, they can push for the playoffs. I think they will do well. And yeah, I think next season for them, playoffs is a minimum, because I think I read to say somewhere Carl Robinson was being linked with a move to QPR, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. But he's a good manager as well for this division. But again, Oxford, you could do better next season. I'm sure you'll be fine. If you can get your recruitment right in the summer, you can push on. But yeah, anyway, in 9th place, I had Bolton Wanderers to finish 9th. I knew they were going to have a good season, because obviously they had a takeover completed the year they went down to League 2 and came straight back up last year. And they bought well in the summer, and they strengthened well in January, because I think in January they were sitting 18th or just about 2 or 3 was by the drop zone. But they had a good end of the season, and they ended up finishing in about 10th, I think, in the end, or 11th. They did finish well. They finished in the top half. As a good first season back in the Championship. In League 1 for Bolton. And I think if they, again, with the money they've got, if they can recruit right, they can push on. They should be pushing on. A side like that, as well as many others in League 1, should not be in this division. They're a massive club. They should definitely be in the Championship. And I think if they get the recruitment right in the summer, they can push on. But yeah, I had Bolton to finish. Now in 8th place, I had the champions, Wigan Athletic. I did not expect them to win the league, honestly. But I knew they would do better than they did last season, because last season, obviously, they were in that little six league of fighting to stay up with ourselves. They did well to start up under Liam Richardson. Obviously, the takeover went through, because the season in COVID, they had to sell all their team. Pretty much. I had a couple of players still left over, but most of them had to be sold because they had to clear the debts. They've done well to stay up. And then last season, just gone, they were brilliant. I can't say the likes of Will Keane, James McLean absolutely performed superbly for them. Definitely deserved to win the league. Both times they played us off the park. And yeah, and also Callum Lang was a fantastic sign, a fantastic player to come through their academy. He's a very good player. He'll be good in the Championship for them next season. And again, if they get their recruitment right, they can push on in the Championship. I should not think they should be coming back to League One for a while. But I had the champions to finish in 8th. Now in 7th place, this is a bit of a shocker, I had Charlton Athletic. Just to miss out on the playoffs, but to put a playoff push in like they did last year. I did not expect them to start the season as bad as they did under Nigel Atkins. They were awful. They were bottom. I think they were 22nd when he was sacked in October. And obviously Johnny Jackson took over and he guided them to a 12th place finish. Harshly sacked in the summer in my opinion, but we've already seen that in another video. But thing is, with Charlton, the recruitment was good. They obviously got George Dobson, who was on loan with us last season. Connor Washington, Jaden Stockley, players like that. They should be performing better. They should have performed better than when they were. Also got Craig McGillivray from Portsmouth as their goalkeeper, but they didn't do very well. I don't know what went wrong there, to be honest. I don't know if it was something to do with the players or the management or recruitment or whatever. But the squad they had, they should not have finished 12th in the league. They had a much better squad. They should have finished higher up, in my opinion. But it is what it is. But yeah, I had them to just miss out. Now here comes the exciting bit. We've got the playoffs now. In 6th place, just making it in, I had Portsmouth. Now, I thought Portsmouth would do well under the Cowleys. Obviously, they had struggled to get out of League One. They've got in the playoffs a certain amount of times under Kenny Jackett, and obviously he was sacked last year. Missed out on it on the last day last season when they lost at home to, I think it might have been Accrington or Burton, someone like that. But this season, I generally thought would be their year to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, they didn't make them. They finished about 10th or 11th, I think, in the end. But it was a good season. They done well in places. I mean, they started the season off very well. They won 4 out of 4, but then sort of slipped away after that. Started mid-table, but had a good end to the season and managed to get a strong 10th spot. I think next season, I keep saying this about many teams, if they can get their recruitment right, they can push on for promotion. But judging by past seasons, they might be stuck in this division for a while. But I had Portsmouth to finish in 6th. Now in 5th place, I had the playoff winners Sunderland, and they actually did finish in 5th place. So I got that one spot on. I thought maybe under Lee Johnson to start the season, I thought when they brought in some good players, and they played them early on, and they won 1-0. I thought, yeah, they done well. They should be in the top 6. I don't think they'll go up, but they should be up there. But obviously, after a 6-0 defeat, was it to Bolton? They sacked Lee Johnson, replaced him with Alex Neil, and his first game in charge was against my team. And of course, we drew 1-1, and I think they were one of the worst sides I've ever seen at our ground this season. But that was his first game in charge. I'm not saying that was any effect on it, Sunderland fans. Don't worry about that. But after that, I will say he done a fantastic job. 1 defeat in about 16 games under Neil. And that was a brilliant turnaround, and he deservedly won the playoffs completely, knocking Sheffield Wednesday out in the semis and then beating Wickham in the final. Deserved to go up. Absolutely superb. Well done, Sunderland. You're back in the Championship. Hopefully now you can push back onto the Premier League, because I used to love watching Newcastle v Sunderland when I was younger, and hopefully them times can come back. But Sunderland finished 5th. Superbly done. Up into the Championship. Hopefully good things to come for them. Now, in 4th, this is a shocker, I had last year's playoff losers, Lincoln City. I did not expect them to finish 17th this season, or 18th, wherever they finished. I did not expect them to have such a poor season, but they did. I think maybe I should have seen this coming, because they lost Brennan Johnson and Brendan Johnson and I think it was Morgan Rogers, I think his name was, one of the right back from Manchester City. They lost them who were arguably key players for them last season, and it just sort of fell apart really. They did bring in some good players like Chris Maguire and John Marquis, but they did not have a good season under Michael Appleton. For a stand of a club who were in the playoff picture the year before, that was not a good season. I think it's one they need to write off and go again next year under Mark Kennedy, the new manager. But personally, it wasn't bad, because they did survive. It was at one stage it did look like they were going to get relegated with us, but they managed to pull themselves out of it. And yeah, I think for them they just need a fresh start next season. In 3rd place, just missing out on automatic promotion, I had Rotherham United. Now Rotherham United obviously finished 2nd. I wasn't bad with that. I knew they'd be up there because they're a bit of a yo-yo club. They seem to be good enough for League One, but not good enough for the Championship. And I like Smith and Grigg up front for them. Well, what a front two that is. That is a front two that can get you results on its own. And again, credit to Paul Warne. Brings them down every time, and he seems to click it and get them to push up straight back up. And I'm glad them and Wigan went up, because obviously the team finishing third didn't go up and then lost in the playoffs. So I'm happy with that. And I think I really don't want to say this, but unless they get their recruitment right next season, they're going to come straight back down to League One. I don't want to say it, Rotherham fans, but I think another season struggles on the card, because you really need to improve that team. You need to bring in some more Championship quality players, because if you do not bring in any Championship quality players, you're coming straight back down. Anyway, on to the top two. And finally, so this is the top two. In second place, I had Ipswich Town. Now, people might laugh at that, thinking, oh, why did you put a team finishing outside the playoffs at the top? Well, you look at their recruitment this summer, they brought in 20 players under Paul Cook. 20 players, including Joe Piggott from ourselves, likes of Connor Chaplin. I'm trying to think of other players they brought in. Cameron Burgess, Christian Walton, who has been a key for them. Sam Morsey, probably one of the better midfielders in the league. Lee Evans as well. And to be honest, just didn't click at the start of the season. Didn't win a game until September, the end of September, I think. And Paul Cook lost his job. Kieran McKenna came in, stepped in. And to be fair, done a good job. Led them away from a bit of a struggling season. Got them to a nice, comfortable mid-table finish, where probably next season I think they need to invest a bit more and push on, because they need to get playoffs. Ipswich should not be in League One, but they are. It's one of them things. Obviously, the likes of Norwood have gone as well, and they've also, I think, lost somebody else. I can't think of who it is, but they lost James Norwood, who was one of their better players towards the end of the season. He's left, but hopefully they can push on and push up the league and get out of it. Now, to win League One, there's the one team left I haven't said yet. It was Sheffield Wednesday. I generally thought they were going to come down and piss it and go straight back up. They didn't. They ended up finishing, I think, fourth and then lost in the playoffs. I thought they were going to win the playoffs personally, but I didn't perform in the playoffs really. The likes of, obviously Barry Bannon is one of the best quality midfielders you can find in this league, but he didn't perform up to expectations. He didn't perform up to expectations in the playoff semi-final. Obviously, I know he's one of the nominees for Player of the Year, and don't get me wrong, he was good. But the likes of Gregory, Berahino, and Nathaniel Mendes-Lang as a striking options should be enough to get you out of this division. Simple as. I mean, they have a good defence, like Sam Hutchinson, and Harley Dean was a good back line with Peacock Farrell in goal. And that team should be enough for them to get out of this League One back into Championship. Fortunately, it wasn't. And next season, Darren Moore really needs some investment off the pitch to get back into to win League One. Because Sheffield Wednesday, if they're in this league again next season, if they do not go up next year, they could end up like Portsmouth and Ipswich, just stuck in this division. It's not hard. Or Sunderland. Look at that. Everyone thought Sunderland were going to go straight back up. It took them 4 seasons to get out of League One. This is the thing you've got to remember. League One is a hard league. It's even hard to stay up in. Obviously, we've struggled for God knows how long. But you need to invest. So Sheffield Wednesday fans, you need a good summer of investment from your owners to get yourself back in the Championship. Because if you don't go up next year, I can see you being stuck in there for long. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. That was my League One predictions. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below. And remember, if you want to see my Premier League and Championship predictions, let me know in the comments. Let me know, because I will do them. And don't worry, they're both just as shocking as League One. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.